Today on Go Island, we are hanging with the Body Talk crew. That's them right there. They're pretty cool.
Today on Go, industrial waterfront property changes hands for downtown redevelopment and trying to get a date with Christy Clark. That and more today on Go.
Capoeira meets flamenco. It's happening this spring break from the Body Talk crew with Crimson Coast Dance Society. We're going to find out what Body Talk is all about later on this edition of Go Island. But we're starting things off with the city of Nanaimo entering into a purchase and sale agreement to buy some key waterfront property, and it's destined, they say, to continue with the revitalization of downtown. You're watching Go Island on Shaw TV Channel 4. This is the Body Talk crew. That's a project initiated by the Crimson Coast Dance Society about 9 or 10 years ago now. And this is the group of teens that put it all together. We're going to talk about what this year's program is later on this edition of Go. It runs March 18th to the 22nd. But first, we're going to find out who these fine teens are. It's the Body Talk crew. This is Max. Who are you guys? What do you do?
Body Talk crew is a nonprofit youth-based organization where teens just like me and all these fabulous people can learn what it takes to put the show together.
And what have you learned so far? I mean, people might not even know that it takes a whole year perhaps to learn how to put on a show.
Well, I've helped design the poster that we have.
Cool.
We had some people come and show us like what you need to have an effective poster that catches people's attention.
Okay.
Today we're taking a tour of the Port Theatre. We have people like consulting us on how to put on ads on places, all these things.
Well, what is the thing that you've learned the most, do you think? I mean, we've touched on graphic design. You're probably getting into some of the technical aspect of actually staging a production. What about the dance itself?
Well, it's not so much the dance that we learn about, more the things.
Okay.
But we do often dances, and at the beginning of every meeting we have a pass the move where you stretch and have dances, and it's
Awesome.
fun.
Okay, it sounds like a lot of fun, and it sounds like there's a lot more to it than what we've covered now. We're going to come back and talk a little bit more about what Body Talk is, what the crew does, and about the spring program that's coming up March 18th to the 22nd. We're going to throw things over now to Kelly Robinson. She's riding horses. Well, she's actually figuring out how some children with disabilities benefit from riding horses. It's therapeutic riding in the Comox Valley. And of course, the BC Variety of Hearts Children's Telethon is coming up this weekend, February 16th and 17th. Actually, that's next weekend, February 16th and 17th on Global TV and Shaw TV across British Columbia. You're watching Go Island on Shaw TV Channel 4. I'm Kate Bergen. This is Samantha. She's part of the Body Talk crew with Crimson Coast Dance Society, a founding member. And what is it that you guys do? You meet once a week, but what do you do with these meetings?
Well, during the meetings, we bring in we come together and we figure out what guest artists we're going to bring in to teach this 1 week workshop.
Okay.
And they're also going to be performing in the workshop as well as teaching the workshop. And any of the participants in the workshop can volunteer to be part of the performance if they want. If they don't want to, that's okay. If they want to, then
okay,
by all means.
So it's planning throughout the entire year. The Body Talk crew plan a week of workshops. This year it's March 18th to 22nd that culminates in a performance here at the Port Theatre on March 23rd. Now, why would you need to meet once a week all year to put on a show? There's maybe more involved than it might at first seem.
Yes, there's tons to be involved. There's obviously the contracts that need to be settled out, and we need to figure out what guest artists we need to bring in and what kind of dance style we want to put into this workshop.
Okay.
And obviously the venues of where we want to put the workshop and where we want to perform.
And anyone who's ever put on an event knows that that is a lot of work. You've been on since the beginning. How has Body Talk sort of evolved and changed and grown over the years?
Well, I know at first we only started with about 2 to 3 teens, and as the years grew by, we've managed to get about 10 people a year, which is awesome.
That is awesome.
And it makes like less work for all of us, and it's like all spread out, and we have dynamic ideas of what we want to put into the workshop, and it just evolves a lot from there, and it spreads out to different kinds of genres of dances.
Is this a step towards a career in performing arts for you?
It could be, yes.
Yeah, okay, excellent. Now, someone who's just joined recently is Justina. What made you want to get involved with Body Talk?
It's different to be in the community and to help, I guess, fundraise and
you guys really are doing it all, fundraising too, eh?
Yeah, to be into something that it's not usually what I'm doing because I'm kind of shy. And for being into this crew, it's different and fun, and I don't know how to explain it, but it's a difference that.
What kind of things are you learning? I've worked in the arts, and it's not easy, and it's been one of the biggest learning experiences of my life to work in the arts, and I think it's fabulous that teens are having the opportunity. What kind of things are you taking home at the end of the week, at the end of the day?
To, I guess, improvise and to communicate with people and to plan stuff for the future and to learn how to manage your time wisely, and it's just, I like it a lot.
Yeah, awesome, I can see that in your face, thank you. Yeah, it's great. It's inspiring to see these teens putting their skills to work with professional guidance from the Crimson Coast Dance Society through a program called Body Talk. We're going to be back with more on Go Island after a short break.
Still ahead today on Go Island, trying to get a date with Christy Clark, poetry with Tongues of Fire, and hitting the slopes near Kamloops. That and more still ahead on Go.
You're watching Go Island on Shaw TV Channel 4. This is the Body Talk crew. They are the ones responsible for producing a workshop for teens and families that blends capoeira and flamenco dance. It runs March 18th to the 22nd, culminating in a performance on stage here at the Port Theatre on March the 23rd. We're going to throw things over now to Dan Kahn. Ladies, you'll be happy to know that Dan is a single man, but I think he's got his sights set on somebody right now. He's trying to get a date with Christy Clark. You know, Dan, maybe if you hang out with these guys, learned a few moves, you might have some better luck with Christy Clark. You're watching Go Island on Shaw TV Channel 4. We're going to come back and talk a little bit more with the Body Talk crew with Crimson Coast Dance Society later on this edition of Go Island. It's time now, though, to go back down to Victoria. Jen Moranitz introduces us to a group of artists who speak in tongues, tongues of fire, to be precise. You're watching Go Island on Shaw TV Channel 4, and today we are hanging out with the Body Talk crew. They are gearing up for their annual spring break workshop running March 18th to the 22nd, culminating in a performance here at the Port Theatre on March the 23rd. We know what the Body Talk crew is, but we don't know exactly what they've got planned yet for this year. Last year was hip-hop salsa. This year,
flamenco and capoeira together, same week.
Have those been put together before, as far as you know?
As far as I know, never seen it, can't wait.
And how is that actually going to happen? How can you take two very different forms of dance and fuse them in one workshop, in one performance, where people have actually only had a week to learn it?
I don't think anyone knows. That's the mystery.
And the excitement.
And the excitement, yeah.
How contrasting are the two different dance forms? Or similar? Are they similar?
Very contrasting, very similar in the fact that they each have very complex histories. Flamenco will be more vertical, most likely, in my mind. Capoeira is often horizontal. So put the horizontal with the vertical, put the visible or the physical with the metaphysical, the invisible, because there's so much history that plays a part of it. And the music and the cultural aspects, the ritual aspects of capoeira, the historical aspects of flamenco. It's very, very rich.
And this comes under the umbrella of contemporary dance. This is what modern dance does, is develop and move forward things in the performance world that already exists. Is that fair to say, safe to say?
There's always influences, and the influences will be evident.
Okay. Who should take the class? Who can take the class?
Anyone. So it's any age. Teenagers will be coming during the day from 1 to 4. Adults and children of any age can come in the evening time.
Okay.
From, I think it's 5:30 to 7:30 or something like this. And the amazing price, $25 for the whole week, is just incredible.
Wow.
These are professionals coming together to do these workshops.
Great, all under the
and so
direction.
all levels as well. So
And
whether
all
you have experience or don't.
Yeah, and under the organization of the Body Talk crew.
Exactly.
With your guidance. Yeah. Thank you very much. Holly's trying to encourage me to bring my kids, age 5 and 3.5, to the family portions of Body Talk taking place March the 18th to 22nd. You can contact the Crimson Coast Dance Society for more information. We're going to throw things over now to the mainland. We're hitting a ski hill near Kamloops. It's a road trip. Brings us to the end of this edition of Go Island. One more plug for a Body Talk. It's running March 18th to 22nd. Professional dancers coming. Professor Caju, as he's known, and Flamenco Rosario. It's open to anyone and everyone, and the price cannot be beat. You can contact the Crimson Coast Dance Society for more information. It all culminates in a performance right here at the Port Theatre on March the 23rd. Thanks for watching this edition of Go Island. We'll see you next time. We'll see you at the show.